Here at the Barcelo Resort Hotel in Tenerife, Spain, in the Canary Islands, and we're getting ready to interview two of the amazing employees that work here. All right, guys, we are here in the beautiful island of Tenerife in the Canary Islands here in Spain, and we are staying at an amazing resort, and we have some of the best co-workers that work there. We have Victor, who speaks 1,500 different languages. He's so young but so very talented. We met him 2 years ago. And then we have the beautiful Marvi, who is born and raised, well, she was born in Dominica, but she actually was, raised here in Spain. So I wanted to ask them a little bit of questions and kind of get their opinion on Tenerife and the negatives and positives, okay? Okay, so Victor, you are actually born and raised here in the beautiful island of Tenerife, and I wanted to get your honest opinion of what are the negatives and positive effects of tourism here in this island.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to start by, I think the positive side will be that always tourism will offer some job opportunities here that will never change, and that's something that we definitely need. We are surviving because of this, because of the tourism, but as well it's something that it needs to be controlled. I think that's our problem lately, that the tourism is always going to be needed, but it always needed to be controlled as well. Is for us the main idea. Because we love tourism, we depend on it, and it just needs to be established a base in which can be a control. Because, for example, we are receiving more tourism than all Brazil together, and we are a tiny place. So for us, it's a very good positive side of tourism always, but always needs to be controlled. On the other side, I will think that from the negative side, in my opinion at least, or what I've been considered that it's more hard for me, is the lodgement. It's always getting more difficult and more difficult to get any space to be able to live or to afford your own home. Before, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, there was much more opportunities to be able to buy your own house. Now you're always going to need a big income to be able to afford a house, and not only to buy a house, but to rent a house is also getting very difficult. As you can see, this kind of lodgements right here that we can see, these are local homes that right now half of them has been turned into vacational holidays renting. So they don't rent it for us, they only rent it for the holidays, and that changed because this kind of lodgements maybe before was 400 per month, but now because it's holiday season they turn it into minimum 900. So for us that we have a minimum salary maybe of 1,100, maybe that's the minimum wage of the Canary Islands. I think when you have to as well pay or afford a lodgement by yourself, if you have no one to share it with, it's getting really difficult, or unless in the coast of the island is getting impossible. If you go above the road, above in the mountains, the salaries or the afford, it could be more worth it. But if you need to work for the tourism like me here in the coast, and I need to live here in the coast, it's less and less options every day. That's what we feel.
Makes perfect sense. So my response, or as let's say as me as a foreigner who has been living in Spain for over 7 years now, raising my kids here, I look at it as I see a lot of the local nationals here and the Spaniards here from Tenerife. They're angry, and I understand the anger. But based upon, let me pose this example to you. Let's look at Dubai in the Middle East, and a lot of the local nationals there, they don't have to work because their government, all of the money that they receive from selling gas and the oil, they're giving back to their residents. Mm-hmm. So would you say that a little bit of the anger towards tourism or tourists, us as tourists, could be a little bit misplaced, and more so you guys looking into the government, like where is all of the money going that they're receiving? This country is receiving so much money, but why can't any of it go towards the residents to live here? And like you said, there be rules to where certain homes in certain places can't be, a vacation home and things like that.
It's completely 100% misplaced. Sometimes the anger comes from not knowing really what is the situation. Sometimes we see the problem, but we don't know where is it coming from, so we just place it on the first thing that we see, which is, for example, tourism. You see everything crowded, you see that you cannot go to your favorite places because it's crowded, everything crowded, so your first idea is gonna be, is his fault, but we never see what is in the back, and definitely always it's gonna be what is in the back. And the problem really it's that the governments are not really taking place on what is really important. There are really problems that we are not managing right, which is for example the immigration. There is good immigration and there is bad immigration that also doesn't benefit to the place, and immigration for me it's really good. That above all in the Canary Islands we live as well because of the immigration. Canary Islands has been a place that took a lot of people to Venezuela, to Cuba, to a lot of different places, and we are receiving back, but it's a good immigration, and that sometimes there is immigration who is not working, and it's depending on the governments as well. But speaking still for the tourism, there is more problems that we have to consider inside the island, and we have to look for ourselves. There is problems lately that no one really focus on that, but it's the clear water. There is more problems on distilleries that are getting overcrowded and it's not working good, so they are sending everything to the water, and that's something that it happens in the last months, and we cannot blame the tourism. If we have problems doing that, why do you allow to make more incomings and more big buildings? That's for me the real problem, the massifications and the big plans that are considered not for the locals but are considered for rich people. We have a problem coming on right now, Cuna del Alma. Cuna del Alma is a very big infrastructure only for luxury houses, luxury homes, which is taking a lot of the coast, a big place of the coast, which is only considered for big lodgements and expensive lodgements that it will be never be for us, but you're taking always more space. Every 5 years you're taking a new coast of the island just for a purpose that is not will be for the island. It will be always for luxury homes or luxury. So the problem is not the tourism. It's definitely not the tourism. It's the government which are not really taking care of what is important and what is not important for me.
And y'all heard it from a local national, born and raised in Tenerife. This is his home, and he's telling you basically, because you're seeing both sides. You work with tourists and you're experiencing multiple cultures, but you also were born and raised here, and you're seeing the inner and the outer, and that's why I wanted your perspective. So thank you so much for your honesty.
You're welcome.
My last question to end on a positive note, what is your favorite thing working at a resort when you have so many different types of people that you're running into?
For me, definitely that's easy. It's the reason that as well today I speak English, the reason that today I speak French or many other languages. Since I was a little kid, I discovered that I want to discover new cultures, because I was raised and I was born with 16 years old and looking different cultures and realizing that the Spanish people is not the same as Polish people, as English people, as German people. So I wanted to discover more people just than the Spanish culture, that it's everything do the same. English do the same and Polish do the same. I wanted to be able to discover new cultures. I have been traveled to India, I have been traveled to America, just for that reason, to be able to discover new ways of thinking, new open minds, new closed minds, but every person is a new world, and that's what I love about my job every day, discovering, speaking to people, and as well offering you a smile, receiving a smile back. That's for me as well part of my job and what I love the most. Try to give something beautiful for people, because for me holidays are very important. I consider my own holidays is the most important part of my year. I'm working 11 months only for that holidays, so I'm trying hard as well for the people that is coming only once per year to be on holidays, give that experience unforgettable as well.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That was perfect.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I'm here with the beautiful Marvi, and my main question that I want to ask you is, you were born in Dominican Republic, but you grew up here in Spain. So I want to know, what was that like growing up as a foreigner, but still speaking the local language and things like that?
It's so hard grow up in a country with a different culture than yours. It's so complicated because sometimes you don't understand why your body looks like this, or your in home you have something different than outside, because we have our culture and my mama don't want I forget my culture, so we cook different, we do different things, we have different things for doing holidays, and outside I need to pretend I'm another person for be accept for the other kids, because it's so hard when they saw you different, they don't want to be with you a lot of times. So you need to create two personalities, yours in home, like your real, and another one outside, like for be in this country. But in Spain is a little bit more easy than in other countries, because in Spain we speak the same language, is
Right.
Spanish, so this is a good point. But the bad point is like we have different things, because my culture is more close, more Catholic, more religious, so we have a lot of different things. When you grow up in Dominican Republic with 13, you cannot go outside or go to parties, but here yes. So this is so hard for me, because when I was 13, my mama don't want I go outside or go to parties, and all my friends do it. So for me it's hard to understand why the other girls can do it and me not. And this is the bad part, but when you grow up and you go to your country to find your own, you can understand why this is happen. But you are so lucky if you grow up in another country, because you have the two of the culture, so you can explain to your future kids or to your family, they understand of your point of view what is happen if you have the half of half.
That makes so much sense. I can totally relate. Even, even my oldest son, Amari, has basically the same issues that you had growing up. So I totally understand that. Thank you so much for explaining that. Okay, so my second question would be, do you feel, since the time that you grew up till now, 2025, do you feel like Spain is becoming a little bit more inclusive and trying to be a little bit more open-minded about different countries and different cultures coming into their country?
Yes, I think now they are more inclusive because they have more people, I think. But the problem with me is I grow up in a small village, so I'm the first black girl, or one of the first, and it's so hard when they don't have nothing to compare to me, because it's only me. So I think I do the way for another kids, because they are growing up in the same village than me, but they don't receive the same hate, for say this word.
Yes.
I receive because they is more normal see black kids or different cultures, so it's better now. But I think it's going more open, but depends of the city, because in different cities is different, because big cities is so good grow up, because you see a lot of different countries and you can find people from your country and you can explain your point. But for example, in my village I don't have a lot of kids from Dominican Republic, but it's only me, so I don't want to explain to the other kids what is my food, what is my things. But now they are more, so they like to explain to the other kids because they have people for support them. But I think it's good, but we need to work on this more.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's true. We can totally understand and pretty much feel the same way.
Yes.
To end off on a positive note, what is your favorite thing about working at this beautiful resort?
My favorite thing, I think I have a lot of things, because I love the team I have. I come here for do my internship, and I don't think this gonna be really amazing. I have a good team, I have a good hotel, I have good schedule, and my English, when I come, English is not my first language definitely, and for me learn English with hearing the people is more easy than go to school. And I think like now I can communicate more with the people in another language, and I want to learn more. But the most I like is you meet people every week and they learn something to you, because all the time the world is moving and you can learn something different about another cultures, another people with my same age, people more younger, more older, and it's amazing. You can live in a new adventure every day. You grow up and you see the sun, you see these amazing views, and you feel happy. You don't need nothing more.
So the beautiful island of Tenerife is more than just a destination. It's generations of people living, generations of different cultures. And I really appreciate the both of you for taking the time to talk to the AG3 family. And hopefully we all can get a little bit better understanding, because better understanding opens that door for people to, better the culture and better the country. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you very
Thanks to you for
much.
giving us a chance.
Yes.
Señor, aquí estamos en el mejor canal de YouTube en Tenerife. Para todos mis suscriptores, dale al like, denle un like.
Gracias. Eso.
Este hombre de aquí